We do have a lot to talk about today. There is a lot. Like I said, like the Oscars is going to be enough in its own, and the Razzies was kind of fun. But there's also something that, that just kind of came out since we're talking about the DCU and what's been going on before that with somebody else, a big time director came forward, not talking about, DCU, but talking about Barbie. And that's where I have to ask everybody, can we talk about Zack Snyder for a second? I just want to talk about Zack Snyder for a brief second because he came forward with this formula because he's like, guys, I know how this works with Netflix and all their process now, because he's trying to say that his movie, Rebel Moon, which has been panned and people have been really hating on, he's like, oh, it did better than Barbie. It made more than Barbie. He goes, let me break this equation down for you, though. Here's his equation. He's like, Rebel Moon. He goes, according to Netflix, it had 90 million views, okay? 80 or 90, something like that, million accounts watched it. And he goes, if 2 people watch it on each count, then it's 160 million people actually watch this. And that's $160 and about $10 a ticket if it was in theaters. That makes to about $1.6 billion. So it did better than Barbie.
Okay. Sure,
okay, Zack Snyder.
We'll see which beloved classic goes down in history, huh?
Right? And I'm just like, it's just like dumb because it didn't go to limited theaters or something like that. So you don't have that kind of money. And it's math. Like, you don't even know how many butts would actually come to seats. You can't compare like box office to streaming. It just doesn't ever work. So it's him trying to make himself feel good about his bomb of a movie that is the second one coming. And I didn't think it was horrible. It wasn't the best, but I just think that overall, like, this is just faulty math. I mean, he's trying to say he had the biggest movie of 2023 and he just didn't, Are you surprised by this, Rachel? Are you shocked? Do you think Zack Snyder's just smoking the wrong hookah? What do you think's happening here?
I think the man's delusional. Get it together, Zack Snyder. Like, you really think this movie, I know like 2 people who've seen, was bigger than the biggest pop culture phenomenon of the last like 5 years, arguably? Okay, yeah. Bud. Okay, how many Oscars did you get nominated for?
I'm surprised I didn't get any Razzies.
Right.
I almost would need that more too.
The GR is right here. That's some creative accounting. That's some. That's
what all those IRS agents they hired went and did for him.
Yeah. There's a joke out there that men can't measure things because they're always lying about different measurements. I think Zach's having a little bit of a measurement problem here.
Shout out to Zack Snyder and his measurements. His eye penis is not that strong today.
His eye penis is very weak.
It usually is.
I just think, though, I mean, if this did go to theaters and stuff, yes, it'd be different. Rebel Moon was unwatchable. It was. I watched the whole thing. I don't know. It just seemed like it was just too much. Maybe the second one would be better. I thought it was all right sci-fi movie. Jesus. There's a second one coming in April. April 19th, the second one comes out. They shot them back to back. So
when you fail nowadays, you get a sequel.
If they already filmed it when they were filming the first one, they didn't know how much it was going to suck. Now they're just kind of like, well, I guess we have to give this to you.
The completed films that actually sound decent and good, we're going to throw into a trash can and use for tax credits.
That's the
and then we're going to film 16 of the same pieces of shit and put them. Well, I know it's WB, but it doesn't matter. Like, it's the point. Like, it's like the guy's making like turds over here. People are going,
right.
And then over here we've got some well-made thing, and they're going, what? Let's just throw that out. You know what I mean? Like, no one even gets a chance with it. And it's just like, what the fuck is this world? What even are we?
Yeah. And I will say this too, Lexi, about the movie though itself. It's like, of course it was visually nice. Like, he's great with visuals, right. Like, there's a lot of great scenery.
He's a music video director. That's all he's good at. Yeah. He's a music video director. He's very good at visual effects. He's just pissed off that his feminist masterpiece, Sucker Punch, nobody gave a shit about it, and that Barbie is doing better. That's all.
Sucker Punch was.
I don't know if I would call Sucker Punch a feminist masterpiece, but it is his only good film.
It's his only good film, genuinely. Well, that's because of the giant 2-hour music video.
Right, like, it's great. Yeah. It's visually very interesting. The story is almost non-existent.
Are those sequences of music and visual, like. That's all he's good at, which Sucker Punch is literally just those visual sequences with music. He's very good at those. Outside of that, he's a complete failure as a director. And like the fact they keep handing him stuff like over and over and over and over, I'm like, I don't understand it. I know he's got a bro culture behind him that loves his lifting and watching him
Zack
powerlift and his big
Snyder.
muscles and shit. Like I get that, but like,
Is that a thing he does? I didn't know that.
no, he really does. He has a huge like bro culture behind him. He's like big fucking. He's jacked. So like people love watching him lift. I'm not even joking. So look at his Instagram.
Can you even lift, bro?
Yeah,
Can you even direct, bro?
Zack
So like there's like
Snyder.
there's a whole culture behind that with him, and I think that's where a lot of like his stuff comes. But like his visuals too have also completely declined since he discovered that fucking camera that he loves and he's obsessed with, and he won't stop using that one camera that's designed for doing slow motion sequences.
Yes.
Like entire films with it. And it's like that camera.
It's his favorite thing in the world.
That camera isn't designed for that. That camera is designed for very specific things. You can't shoot an entire film with it. You can if you have a very specific design in mind. Don't shoot an entire zombie film with it. That was dumb. Like, the quality of the work that you put out is not good. You're good at very specific things. You want to go shoot commercials? Go back to commercials. Like, you'd be great for commercials. You'd be great for music videos. If you want to go back to that stuff, like, you have a purpose. I'm not saying the guy doesn't have a good visual eye and he's not good at, like, that. But he is an absolute cripplingly bad director. Giving him a franchise is the worst thing you can do for your franchise. The fact that they handed the DC universe to him blew my mind. That first Superman movie was terrible, and nothing he made after it was good. And everybody was like, "Oh, this is terrible. Oh, this is terrible," and they just kept investing and investing and investing. It's that same thing. It's like since like the 2000s and up, people create incompetent work over and over and over, and they just keep getting a pass and a pass and a pass and a pass. In the 80s, in the 90s, you make one mistake, your career is done. Like I talked about before, John Carpenter, his whole career was done with The Thing. We look at it now as a critical mass, like a darling, but it was failure back in the day. That destroyed that man's career. People don't get the even independent careers that like you get when you fail in a lot of cases like he did. I don't get it. Get like how so many people can make shit and get a pass. And they just keep getting like the same IP over and over and over and over, and they just keep going. And people keep coming back and saying, "This is bad. This is bad. This is bad." Okay, well, we're going to keep making more of it.
I gotta tell you, I kind of like Man of Steel. I like Man of Steel. That was like the one I liked.
You know what? I like Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
But I only liked it because I thought Ben Affleck was excellent as Batman. I thought he was one of the best Batman ever. He was amazing because the best thing, what you need for Batman is that you have to have a good Bruce Wayne. And so he was an amazing Bruce Wayne. He had that charisma of being able to do the Playboy while being able to do the Batman part. It doesn't matter who's in the suit. The suit's irrelevant. You can put a ninja in the suit for all that matters, right? It's an actor. So it's like you can put whoever you want in the suit as long as they like have look and you can CG the face on it. It doesn't matter, right? As long as they can like act the part of Bruce Wayne, that's the relevant part. That's what made Keaton so good. Keaton was an excellent Bruce Wayne.
He was fucking great.
It wasn't about Batman that was good. It was just Bruce Wayne. I always thought Bale was a terrible Bruce Wayne. And that's why he was a bad Batman to me. Like those movies are not good to me because I always thought he was a bad Bruce Wayne. He wasn't appealing in a Bruce. He wasn't a playboy. He always felt like he was sick and like didn't want to play with anyone. It was like there's no appeal to that.
Also, the best Bruce Wayne. Best Bruce Wayne, George Clooney. He really is Bruce Wayne in real life.
He was excellent all day.
He's the best Bruce Wayne. He's not a good Batman, but the best Bruce Wayne.
Terrible fucking Batman. But yeah, absolutely not wrong. Like because it's charisma. It's about charisma. Yeah. It's about being able to like own those things. It's
welcome to Cruise Control, Doc Savage. Good to see you. Yeah, I agree. Jake, how you feeling about this though? Are you a Snyder fanboy? Are you excited for his math? Do you think it makes sense? Did Rebel Moon destroy Barbie? Is that a thing, or do you feel like he's just trying to stretch because again he's been getting a lot of flack for how well or how bad the movie actually did?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I haven't seen it, so I haven't watched Barbie either. So
you're missing out.
Yeah, I bet I'm missing out a lot. Let's see. Either he's joking or he really thinks his math is accurate, which I highly doubt anybody who has half of a neuron firing can think that that's actual math. So it's probably half joking, and he's just trying to he's getting himself into the spotlight with words and not with his movies. So
everybody's talking about it. Like he did that Joe Rogan thing, and this is where it came from. It came like people are talking about him having Batman kill people, and then now this came out too, where people have been talking about this online too, about how he's trying to say, of course, after the Oscars, that it did better than Barbie.
Yeah, I mean, he's accomplishing his goal of getting his name out there, even though his movie didn't do it for him. So it's not stupid.
Did we need his name more out there? Did we make that?
No, but I mean, if
he thinks so.
Yeah, clearly it worked. So
it did work.
Yeah.
I think his math is crazy. It's kind of funny, but it's also like, again, everyone's talking about Barbie, so he's just trying to jump on that train. And he knows his next movie's coming out soon, so he's probably going to start talking about that. The director's cut's actually going to come out for Rebel Moon 1 very soon as well. It's wild.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just wild. He's got a lot happening with that. And Netflix apparently believes in it. They have a video game coming out for Rebel Moon, and they have like all these action figures and stuff. And they wanted to be something big because it was supposed to be a Star Wars project, and then it became Rebel Moon because Star Wars canned it, and then he went over there with Netflix and did it. So, yeah, Batman isn't a killer, by the way. We had that whole conversation,
kill.
Doc Savage.
No, he doesn't kill.
Yeah, but Snyder's he did.
It's like his whole thing.
He does not kill.
Swear to me. Yeah.
And he won't use a gun at all, completely. Like, it goes.
Well, it's cool. Batman used to use a gun, but he wouldn't kill people with it.
Yeah, he had the anti-bat repellent bat spray as well, or the anti-shark repellent bat spray. That's from the original movie. Like, what? It was great. Adam West and O'Queen said she liked him the best too. Adam West, he was great. R.I.P. He was really, really good, funny Batman for that time. You know, it was great. Adam West, fuck yeah. But yeah, but Snyder's just trying to get But Snyder's trying to get in the limelight, Lexi. He's just trying to get out there, I think. And I think his math is kind of funny after this weekend. It just is. You know, everyone's been talking about Barbie. Yeah, he just needs some more Kenergy, I think, right? Then he'd be doing better. But yeah.
He could never understand Kenergy.
Jake's like, I don't know about this Kenergy.
Kenergy is just whatever.
It's I don't know. Big dick energy? I don't know if that's what it is. Is that what it is?
I don't think so. No.
He has the energy of one of those small soldiers.
Kenergy is take a step back and let her use plastic.
All right.
Don't feel self-conscious about it.
Yep, it's fine. She's got needs and you can't fulfill them, so sit down, sir.
And go about your business.
Snyder gives never has satisfied a woman energy.
Yep.
Well,
100%.
Sorry, Snyder. Big trash on you. I think it's changing how you thought this was going to go, but again,
his films give that energy too.
Right.
They do. It's just too much slow-mo. I mean, I enjoy some of it, but just too much slow-mo. But, you know, and he's influenced a lot of people to make even more slow-mo. But you know what? He's not going to stop. But he's just going to keep making movies, and Zack Snyder thinks he did better than Barbie with Rebel Moon, and I don't think we buy it. I don't think we buy it. I don't think he did. So sorry, Zack. We'll see how Rebel Moon 2 does, but I don't think it'll be over $1 billion like Barbie. I just don't think it will. And again, you're going straight to Netflix, so these numbers don't make any sense. It's fun. You're having fun with it, but it's not accurate.